So I do have like a couple of exercises. If you guys want to do them, it's cool. What I love about this is they're totally free, completely accessible. You can have them whenever you want, and they absolutely change the chemistry of your brain if you want to do them. I mean,
But you were just saying,
Heck
yes,
yeah.
ma'am, may I have another?
yeah. All right. So these are tiny, tiny things, but they really are life changing. And the first one I like to do, especially when you're nervous, is say you're looking at the promotion, you're looking at the ladder, you're looking at what's next, you're looking at your bank account, you're freaking out, whatever's happening, right, in this moment, is to put both your feet on the floor and wiggle your toes. Swear to God. It just pulls you back out of the mayhem of your own mind and go, wait a second, I'm here and I'm fine. And that sounds crazy, but I have done this when I'm, doing massive presentations, when we're doing venture capital pitching. I've done it before getting on big stages. I've done it when, you get the surprise bill out and you're like, I didn't have that in the line. You know what I mean? All these things that can happen is just pull yourself back in your body for a second, just wiggle your toes. And what I love is nobody knows you're doing it. So even if, you're in a tough conversation with a spouse or someone you love and you're talking about money and you're starting to like do the thing where you're like the Tasmanian devils in your head and you're just wiggle your toes. All of a sudden you can't do both. You can't both wiggle your toes and let the Tasmanian devil take over. So it just gives you a hot second to go, hold on. I'm a really smart person. Let me just see what's happening here. And that pause alone can make a big difference. So there's one. The other thing I love to help people do is to flip your perspective on things. And the easiest, fastest way to do this is to start to notice the space around objects instead of the objects themselves. So for example, like in front of me right now, I can see my camera and it's on a tripod. So I would be looking at the space in between the tripod. I'd be looking at the space around my camera. For those of you that are watching, you can see there's a chair behind me, there's a tree, but you wouldn't be noticing those. You'd be noticing the outline around my head, say all of the space that's there. And once we start to do that, what you're doing is you're training your brain to start to notice how much space there is. And that is a flip from looking at what is finite, scarcity, right? What is finite is the camera begins and ends. The tree behind me begins and ends. No, but the space does not begin and end. For those of you, if you're driving, please keep your eyes on the road. But like if you look up, right, and you notice all of the sky versus the trees, or all of the skies versus the mountains, or whatever's around you, you actually notice the sky. There is so much. And that starts to teach you to look at, there's enough. Right there, you've started to see that. The toe wiggling is like, this is just the way it is. I'm going to freak out. Nope. All of a sudden that changes. It's not just the way it is, right? For there's not enough, you start to look there. And then for more is better, I like to use sunlight. And for those of you, if you're listening to this or watching this at night, look at moonlight or the light outside, but just notice how many surfaces the sun touches every day. You don't even take it. Even we just take it for granted. We just walk right by it. But if you actually look at every single place that the sun touches, right, you can see how necessary shadow is. And it's not always that more is better, but that where it is, it can flourish. And anything can flourish. Life can flourish wherever the sunlight hits. Same with the moonlight at night and that peace that creates. But there's also shadow always. And this idea that more of everything is better, no, because then there's no contrast and you can't actually enjoy what is. So those are kind of my three. They're totally free. You have complete access to them whenever you want. And nobody has to know what you're doing. You can just sort of flip your perspective. It's great. I know. Secrets.
I
like that.
I may or may not have been wiggling my toes this entire time. You never know.
Totally took my shoes off.
You don't know. You don't know what I'm doing. Yeah.